Welcome to OSBA TV, game 2 of day 1 here. This one between Rise Prep Wolfpack and the Ridley College Tigers. Tigers wearing black, and it's the Wolfpack in the white jersey. Marcus Upshaw puts the first bucket on the scoreboard for Ridley. They take the quick 2-0 lead.
Two of my favorite teams, Kelsey, going at it right now. This is going to be a battle for the semifinals.
Nice pass there, gets it up to number 20, Anthony Daudu, to put in the jam and take the 4-0 lead. Great pass there by Marcus Upshaw.
And Upshaw, you can see he's been getting better with every single game this year.
Brandon Kenyon puts up the 3 for the Rise Prep, no good. An offensive rebound now by Rise. Ramir Moore puts it up, no good.
That's something. Sorry, go ahead, Kelsey.
Wow, he almost hit his head right on the bleachers there. That is going to be an out-of-bounds call. It's going to be Ridley ball on the baseline.
And one thing we're still continuing to see, some very good shooters just getting adjusted to this gym. The depth perception, it is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen.
We saw that in the first game. A lot of shots are being short.
There's a miscued pass there from Jaden Bediako over to Upshaw, and that results in a turnover.
Here's Ramir Moore over to Kenyon. Kenyon looking to hand it off. Great defense there by Bediako. Noah Wharton trying to get a hand onto there. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Ridley ball on that baseline, and they'll get a new 24.
You could see Moore, he was blocking guys off there because he knew it was going to be an over and back call anyway.
Yep.
So he thought he'd just eat a little bit more clock. And as we take a look, there is Anthony Daudu throwing it down on the fast break transition. And one thing that we've spoken about the last couple of years in the OSBA has been Ridley College and their ability and their athleticism. That's really been a strong suit for them, and they can run the floor with the best of them, and we saw it right there, Kelsey.
An early 4-0 run, Ryan, for Ridley over Rise. Ridley is seeded number 5, Rise seeded number 4. They're 12-4 on the regular season. Ridley 10-6. And Ryan, these two teams matched up January 18th. Rise took the game 68-60. So it was a close one and the closest seeded game here in the playoffs. It's going to be a fun one to watch for sure.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I was just talking with the CEO of Rise, Jim Wilson, the owner of the Rise Center. He was telling us just a little bit just how hard this team plays them consistently. You could see the jitters were in there a little bit. You could see some slight nerves because he knows just how talented this Ridley College team can be and how much of a handful they can be when they play to their full potential. You can't take a night off against these guys.
8.5 minutes left to go. Here's Upshaw up top. Great defense there by Mooncat. Upshaw, the nice up and under, just won't fall, and that's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be Rise ball.
You can see Mooncat, he's a great player at defending multiple positions. He's big and strong enough to kind of stick it out with the small forwards and stretch fours of the league, while at the same time quick enough to be able to stay with those guards as he was right there. Great defense.
Nice handoff. Here's Mooncat. He goes up against the two big trees of Ridley down low, just cannot connect, and it's going to be Ridley ball. Here's Noah Wharton playing the quarterback point guard position. Hands it off now in the hands of Marcus Upshaw. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Back over to Wharton. Wharton to Bediako. Bediako hands it right back. Wharton, he's got to put it up. 7 seconds on the shot clock, misses, and it's pulled down by David Mooncat.
That's a tough shot to get, as once again, the defense of Rise rising to the occasion. I'm only going to say it once. Don't worry, folks.
Pun very intended. Here's Ramir Moore. Turns the corner on the right-hand side, goes up. Great defense by Bediako, but who's there to clean it up? None other, Ryan, than Brandon Kenyon on the weak side to put it in off the glass and finally get Rise on the board.
Brandon Kenyon doing a great job there of just staying patient, driving to the basket. Well, not driving to the basket, getting himself to the basket off the miss.
Marcus Upshaw goes up and under off the glass, just kissed off the glass. It's good for 2 points.
An excellent finish there.
Here's Stajic over to Mooncat. Mooncat pulls up for the very long two, and it's good. What a shot.
Nice shot in rhythm. You'd rather see him take it behind the arc at that point if he's going to be that far away. But the coaches will still take it and gets it down for 2.
Here's Jaden Bediako. Bediako on the right-hand side, just short.
And that's something that Bediako's been working on throughout his high school career, just getting more physical, and a big block there.
Wow, a huge block by Dadu. Rye still able to put it in, though, and they tie it up at 6.
When you have guys at that size in the front court, you have to be able to take care of the basketball after a block like that. Bediako first settling for a soft touch there, and there's another turnover.
Thomas Chilton goes up, puts it in, and he'll get the foul. Chilton will go to the line for one more.
There's Chilton taking advantage. You could see the turnovers are piling up here as Rye is making the most of it. You can see at the half court there is Chilton jumping the pass.
A strong finish, yeah.
Exactly. Keeps the ball to the opposite side of the defender, takes the contact on the right shoulder, still able to finish in midair. A very impressive move for a guy who's not necessarily known for taking it to the hoop like that. One thing I like best about that, and yeah, once again though, you got to remember he's also a lefty. So any chance he gets an opportunity to finish like that, he's going to take it, finishing on the left-hand side. We'll see if the defense has noticed that and made the necessary adjustments moving forward.
Wharton up top now. Over to Bet. That's one of your favorite players, Ryan.
He is, Cameron Bet, member of the English youth national team. Surrey, England.
Surrey, England.
That's right.
There we go. That foul is going to go.
He's just one of the most delightful conversations you're going to have.
Cam Bet?
Oh, yeah. No, he's just
and everything he says is probably really smart, too, because he has a British accent. He's going to take it out of bounds for Ridley. 14 seconds on the shot clock. It's Wharton up top.
He's also a gamer. He's definitely one of the top 6 men in this entire league.
Wharton, once again, up top. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Going to have to put something up. Gets himself open, and the key off the glass. What a finish for Noah Wharton of the Ridley College.
Wow. And he's getting it done for the Tigers on that one. How impressive of a finish was that against bigger and stronger defenders.
Chilton steps out of bounds on that drive, that back foot. Ryan, a lot of players having problems with it in the first game. Chilton, the first victim here in game 2.
Well, you see, these guys, they're big kids, right? Like it's going to be a tough adjustment for them, especially when the floors are and the walls are so far away from the court. You kind of think you have more space than you actually do. And once again, it goes back to that depth perception. That's my phrase on my word calendar today, depth perception.
There's going to be a foul there. That one's going to go to Marcus Upshaw. Just getting a little bit too aggressive there in the backcourt. It's going to be Rye's ball on the sideline. You can, watch it here. Looks like he, just got pushed to the ground in that very last second there when he was going up against John Akende.
It's one of those situations there, though. You got to just keep it within yourself.
Akende, a beautiful pass into Muncat, couldn't finish, and it's a steal for the Ridley Tigers. Here's Wharton going all the way, goes up, and Brendan Kenyon will get that foul.
Just one thing real quick here, Kelsey. That is the effect of being a shot blocker. Muncat had a look to the basket. You could see he was going up, but then he knew Malcolm Bailey was right behind him, ready to reject it. And when you have that ability to go up there and go get the basketball on the defensive end like Bailey can, that's how badly you can affect other opponents' shots. And without even touching him, he already allowed him to create a turnover by doing that.
Wharton now at the line for one more, just under 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Here's Akende now. Bringing it up for the Wolfpack, goes off the screen. Brandon Kenyon rolls. Akende still with the ball, over to Chilton. Chilton drives baseline. Looks for the open man on the other side. Noah Wharton getting in the middle of that pass. Kicks it out to Upshaw. He releases from the 3. That one just off the mark, and Chilton grabs the board.
I think Upshaw was expecting it on that first fake. Had to make the adjustment. Couldn't finish, though. A great defense, though, by Bailey, who knocks it loose.
Yep. Here's Upshaw now. Kicks it out to Bet. Bet keeps it alive. Thomas Chilton with the steal. Another steal. Noah Wharton sends Chilton to the ground. A great pull-up, and it's finished by Charles Bediako.
Excellent finish and decision there by Bediako. What a finish there. And Upshaw, great decision there on that one. And here's a Kende, though, finding open space, and that's wide left. Rebound Bailey. And now bringing it up is going to be Wharton. Wharton is guarded by a Kende.
Wharton looks to turn the corner. He goes off
nice
two screens,
spin.
finds himself open. What a block by Thomas Chilton.
Coming over on the weak side, not in my house.
Here's Ramir Moore. Moore drives, kicks out to Muncat. He re-drives, finds right back to Moore. Moore, the up and under, can't fall. What great defense by Bediako down low.
Yep, and that's one thing right there. If you don't have to move, don't. Uses those long arms of his to make sure that he's not going to get called for the foul. Excellent work there by the youngster.
Here's Upshaw now up top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looks for Bet. Now he's going to take on Thomas Chilton. Marcus Upshaw, great change of direction there. Goes up. It's going to be an offensive foul there. It looks like an illegal screen, Ryan.
Yeah, you see, unfortunately, Bediako, I believe that's going to be on Bediako. We'll take a look at the replay very quickly here. Here's the fast break. And a turnover. Just look at this. Great defense. Waits till the defender commits to find the open man down low. Excellent ball movement by Ridley College, making something out of nothing. Getting back to the action now.
Akende up top. Turns the left corner. Tries to get it out there to Moore. Great defense, though. Excuse me, by Rise Prep.
Excellent length. Ridley College, they're so long that anytime you try and go take it to the hole there, you got to make sure that somebody's moving to get open on the outside, or else that's just going to be intercepted every time.
6 seconds on the shot clock. Ryan, Ridley has been leaving it to the end of the shot clock almost every single possession. There's a foul call there, and they're saved by the foul call. Saved by the whistle. Let's say it's going to be Ridley ball on the sideline. But leaving it up to that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 almost every single possession so far in this game.
And you know what, though? They're comfortable with doing that because they know they have the athleticism that if they can get their opponents out of rotation on defense, when that shot does finally go up, they're giving themselves the best opportunity for an offensive board. And they've done a great job at finding open lanes like that right there. A great finish there. This is something that team does extremely well. It's being consistent with it, though, because as you said, sometimes they get themselves caught into dribbling into a black hole, if you will, and it can end up being a very frustrating result.
There's another offensive foul there. That one's going to be an illegal screen again. Refs really looking out for it here. That one's going to go against Brandon Kenyon. It'll be Tigers ball on the sideline.
Yeah, and there's one thing that we've been seeing for sure has been nothing has been getting by these referees. Anytime they see a shove or any kind of unnecessary movement like that, they've been calling everything on both sides. So both teams are going to have to make those necessary adjustments going into the second quarter.
Cameron Bett finds himself on the left-hand side, off the glass. He's robbed of that one. Bediako cleans it up down low.
And that's that move you'd love to see if you're the coaching staff at Ridley College. Bediako brings it down, stays clean, keeps it high. Excellent finish by the big man.
Jaden Bediako is so good at grabbing the rebound and putting it back up. That's where he shines. Rice Prep puts another one up. That one, no good for Vladimir Lukomsky.
Komsky, though, doing a great job on defense on the other end.
Jaden Bediako, one dribble, puts it up, and it's good. It's now 16, Ryan to 9. Ridley over Rise.
You have to like seeing that. It's the size of Ridley. Look at that.
Nasadaz just short. Yeah, great defense there by Ridley. Here's Noah Wharton bringing it back up for the Tigers. Beautiful spin move. Gets it out to Bediako.
Almost got away with the travel there. Looked like there was a few extra steps.
That one's going to go out of bounds. It's going to go back to Rise Prep. Knocked out of bounds last by Jaden Bediako.
Yeah.
It's going to be a substitution on the floor. Noah Wharton will come off, and Marcus Upshaw will go back into the game for the Tigers.
Let's see. There's Wharton trying to create something. Gets it over to the big man, the isolation, but excellent defense knocking it loose. That, of course, was Brandon Kenyon. The 6'10 forward out of Hamilton knocking it loose out of Bediako's hand. He's going to be moving on to a collegiate career after this season, class of 2018. There's another steal by Upshaw. Here we go.
Yeah, one of those players that comes to play every single game, Ryan. It's so fun to watch him.
Well, he plays with a chip on his shoulder, that's for certain, but he does it within himself. He knows what he is.
Absolutely. Nice change of direction there. He goes up left, no good, and that foul is going to be charged to Rise Prep. And it's going to, I don't think it is going to send Marcus Upshaw to the line.
An excellent
That foul
effort there.
goes to Vladimir Lukomsky.
And they're getting to the line because look at the penetration they're getting.
Yeah, right there.
We're going to need to see Rise Prep pick it up on defense a little bit here.
That was great defense, though, to kick it off for Vladimir Lukomsky. It's just when his hands came down and swiped for the ball, that's when the foul was called. His feet were in the right place if he was just able to keep those hands up.
For sure.
Upshaw hits. They've taken a pretty substantial lead in this first quarter, Ryan. 18-9 with 30 seconds left to go, and we saw this kind of earlier in the first game. It's the lower-seeded team in Ridley, who's 5, and Rise Prep, who's 4, who takes the initial lead.
They have. Well, they're hungry. They know this is it for them. If they don't come away with the win here, this could be it.
Oh, this is it.
And they want to make sure that they're leaving everything out on the floor.
Cambet drives, pulls back, gets it out to Upshaw. He chucks it up. That one just off the mark. 3 seconds left to go. Dadu puts it up. Jaden Bediako grabs the rebound, doesn't have enough time to put it in. Puts it in a couple attempts later after the clock at the end of the first. It's 18-9. Ridley Tigers leading over the Rise Prep Wolfpack.
It seems Rise Prep just not able to get anything going specifically on the offensive end, and as a result, they find themselves down by 9 here. Excellent, excellent work on the offensive boards and running the floor. As we saw, there's Dwadu kicking off the game with an excellent transition dunk there. See Ramir Moore, some of the few points that he was able to get in so far as Chilton cleaning it up. Just a lot of great effort on the second and third chances by Ridley College, and they've built themselves a nice lead out of this.
18-9. We're 1 minute away from second quarter action. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to OSBA TV. Second quarter action. The Ridley Tigers lead the way 18-9 over the Rise Prep Wolfpack. Kelsey Wright-Johnson, Ryan Greco bringing you today's action. We're in game 2 right now, Ryan, of day 1. Rise Prep gets the first possession, no good, as Jaden Bediako comes down with the big board.
Seen Ridley College, a very impressive outing. Kick off that first quarter. Not the way they wanted to start the second, though.
A nice steal for Rise. Thomas Shilton, I could hear the skin burn from up here. He got a big burn on his elbow there as he went diving. So 9 minutes, 33 seconds. Ryan, let's take another look at this one. A couple steals and a couple bodies go flying here. Number 1 body, number 2 body down, number 3 body down. We're back at it now. It's Ridley ball on the baseline. Leading all scorers right now, Ryan, is Marcus Upshaw with 6 points. And for Rise, leading the way for them is David Muenkat with 4. Here's Noah Wharton up top for the Tigers. Hands it off to Bediako. Over to Marcus Upshaw. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Upshaw rejects the screen, drives baseline, goes up. What a block by Vladimir Lukomsky, but he steps out of bounds after he steals the ball. It's going to be Ridley ball now on the baseline. 24 seconds, Ryan. A good situation actually for Ridley because they were down to that 10-second mark, get a full new shot clock now.
Yeah, absolutely, and also considering the fact we're seeing some very great defense here on the perimeter from Rise. to start out this quarter. They have to be pleased with that after giving up so many points to the guards of Ridley College in that previous quarter.
Malcolm Bailey back in for the Tigers. Marcus Upshaw now up top. Upshaw off the screen from Bediako. Turns the corner. He's got 2 white jerseys on him. It's swiped out of bounds. Ridley ball, 7 seconds on the clock.
Well, there's one of those situations, if you're Jaden Bediako, you have to recognize if both players have already committed to Upshaw going, or excuse me, to Wharton going in, you have to make sure you're rolling to the basket, letting them know you're there as well for an easy finish, and he did not do that. He got left at the top of the key. You got to be able to recognize that.
Rise ball now. Ramir Moore takes some serious contact in the paint there. No call. The refs really letting these teams go at each other early in the game. Here's Wharton now on the other side. Finds himself open at the foul line. Puts it up. No good. Chilton with the board.
That's playoff basketball for you. Getting a few extra shoves at it. And here's Muenkat going up and in.
Goes up. Malcolm Bailey with the block. Everyone's got a little bit of popcorn fingers early in this game.
A nice find there.
Bediako with the jam.
There's one player who's not going to have the slippery fingers on that one there. Bediako throwing it down. Biggest guy on the floor and showing why.
Chilton turns the corner. A nice
nice
spin move in the middle.
Oof.
Beautiful bucket.
Thomas Chilton showing off all the moves on this one.
He's got the hustle and heart out there today. Here's Wharton now over to Dadu. Dadu up to Malcolm Bailey. Could be a silly defensive decision if that was to go in, Ryan. Muenkat now on the other end. Not the glass is good for 2.
Yeah, if I'm Bailey, I want to see him attacking the basket on that one. He had a very
once you get your
clean
defender
look.
gone.
Exactly, and as it was settles for the jumper, and you can see now he's out of position for the rebound on top of it and gives up an easy basket. You can't allow those at this point. You got to continue the pressure.
Yep. Noah Wharton drives. That foul is going to go to number 0, Dragan Stajic, and it's going to send Wharton to the line for 2.
And one thing we're seeing right now, Kelsey, is just the dominance here. The dominance here of these Ridley College guards. They're just kind of getting to the hole at will right now.
Noah Wharton, Ryan, in the first quarter was 0 for 2 from the foul line. He's got his 3rd foul shot now of the game. That one finally sinks.
One thing we're seeing, as you're just kind of alluding to very quickly there, is both guards, Wharton and Upshaw, doing a great job of penetrating, getting to the basket. And when you can do that, and you've got bigs already crashing and getting a running start at those rebounds and anything that you miss, it's a big reason why they're enjoying a 9-point lead right now in the second.
Stajic over to Moore. Moore drives. Great composure, up and under, but blocked by Jaden Bediako. Bediako touches it last. It's going to stay with Rise Prep on the baseline, Ryan. Only 2 seconds, though, on the shot clock.
It's one thing we're noticing here, just a real lack of movement from Rise Prep. When the ball was in Ramir Moore's hands, nobody really trying to get open, just kind of sitting and waiting.
Bediako gets the board. The younger Bediako.
Charles and Ridley in full control of this one so far.
Absolutely, 22-13, just under 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Here's Wharton up top. Wharton has come to play today. Cam Bett is going to get that offensive foul, but good sportsmanship, Ryan, helping up Thomas Chilton after the whistle blows.
Yeah, he understood. Not an intentional foul there, just a little bit of a shove. Understood he was wrong. Good sportsmanship. You always want to see that, even in a playoff game of this magnitude.
Yep. Muenkat's going to take it out for Rise Prep. 6 minutes, 51 seconds left to go in the first. A 9-point lead right now, Ryan. Stajic over to Akende. Akende finds Muenkat, right back to Akende, takes a step behind the 3, puts it up, it's just short. What a finish by Lukomsky.
And there's the downside of a zone defense. If you don't find a guy, you've got, as soon as that ball goes up, you've got to find somebody, box them out, then go for the basketball. Otherwise, exactly, you can't allow athletes at this level to get a running start to the basket. They're going to come down with it over you.
Thomas Chilton is going to get punished for that move soon. That's twice now that he's gone for the steal, gone right past his defender. And Ridley's got to start taking advantage of that 4-on-5 situation. Here's Stajic Out to Chilton. Chilton with the three. That one's just off the mark. Munecat picks up the board. Munecat now back to Stajic.
Can't allow those second chance opportunities, and there's a foul on top of it.
Yeah, there's a blocking foul there on number 20, Anthony Dadu. It's going to be Rise Prep ball, on the sideline. Exactly 6 minutes left to go in the first. There's going to be a timeout called by Ridley College head coach Terry Upshaw.
So far into this game, after enjoying a 22-9 lead in that start of the second quarter, Rise has chewed into that a little bit on a 6-0 run. And I don't know, I feel like just moving forward, this is kind of what we're going to be seeing. I mean, Ridley College, they have to take advantage of any of the mistakes and turnovers that they're forcing. And one thing we're starting to see, though, is guys not settling for just watching the ball on those offensive boards and giving them up. As we're taking a look at the replays here on the fast breaks, great find inside of Bediako, throws it down. Nice little highlight jam for him as the Team Canada member. And there you can see a great move by Thomas Chilton, showing off the entire repertoire in this one.
Thomas
nice little
Chilton
spin
playing
move.
Great tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, this has been a night where we've kind of seen John Akende and Ramir Moore kind of a little bit more quiet than usual, trying to get their teammates involved. And Thomas Chilton's been the benefactor of a lot of that, making his own luck in a sense.
Absolutely. Shooting from outside, taking it into the paint, even on the defensive end. He's had a number of rebounds. We'll update you on, of course, the rebound total after the half. 6 minutes left to go. It's Rise ball on the sideline. John Akende will take it out for the Wolfpack. Stajic up top. Back to Akende. Akende trying to take advantage of the 4-on-5 situation, and he does with a big three ball.
Well, he saw that his defender went for the pass, so he understood he had a couple of moments there to get the rhythm down and knock down the shot, and John Akende knocking it down from Rexdale.
Here's Wharton just playing up top. A nice spin move. Goes up, thinks he got the foul there, no call, and Chilton with another rebound.
I'm not a fan of that take. I'd rather see him go with his right up there. He already has one of his teammates on the other end looking to try and get that rebound if the layup's a little strong, and there's Thomas Chilton.
Chilton, his second and one of the game. What a strong move down the right lane, able to put it off the glass, and he'll go to the line for the second time this game. Thomas Chilton, Ryan, in the first went 1 for 1 from the line in that initial and one that he got. His second and one here. He'll have one more shot. A pretty good shooter from the foul line.
A very impressive finish there. And he's doing his mixtape well. He's doing it a great service in this game.
That one, no good. Jaden Bediako picks up the board.
Gotta love the effort on defense.
Here's Wharton now slowing it down for this Tigers team. He's going to come off the screen from Bediako. Pulls it back out, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Stolen by Stajic. A great finish by John Akende. He'll get the bucket to fall. I want to be the photographer who was down there taking that picture of him screaming on the stands. What a finish, and he'll go to the line for one more. That foul goes to Tommy Johnson of Ridley. And
don't look now, but we got ourselves a tie game with Rise looking to try and take their first lead of the game. John Akende, look at this. Up and in, showing off the athleticism, gets the foul. Can't make the free throw, though.
Great finish, or great rebound there, and able to keep it in bounds was Bediako. Here's Wharton now bringing it back up. 16 seconds on their shot clock. Gets it over to Dadu. Dadu looking inside for Bediako. Bediako going to have to get out of the key. There we go, he did. Here's Upshaw. 3 seconds on the clock. Upshaw's got to put it up. And there's a foul call saved by the whistle. Once again, Ryan, that foul is going to go to John Akende, and it'll send Upshaw to the line for two.
Well, anytime you allow Upshaw to get in like that, I mean, he's playing like a man possessed, just intent on getting to the rim every single time. Doesn't matter who's in front of him. And he's the benefactor of these calls as a result. You see the replay there as Akende was all over him. And some very good defense. It's just when you get a step on your defender like that, it's so difficult to try and recover and keep it clean at the same time, because at that moment you almost have to kind of lunge for the ball, or else you're giving up a clean look every time. And Wharton and Upshaw have done a magnificent job so far of making every guard on Rise earn it as far as the defensive set goes.
Jonakende just can't connect. The rebound for Cam Bett.
Bediako, big reason for that.
Bett going 100 miles an hour. No call there, but it is knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Ridley. 19 seconds on the shot clock.
You could see that a great telegraph there on the defensive end by, I believe that was Lukomsky, who got in front of him. There goes a shot, and that's no good from Bett.
Another rebound for Thomas Chilton. Here's Stajic now, making his way up the court for Rise. A little hesitation. He passes it out to Lukomsky, puts it up. That one's short. A big rebound there for Munecat. Didn't even look like Bediako went for that one, Ryan.
No, that was one of those situations where, and you know what,
though? A weird bounce?
It's not just a weird bounce, but when you've got a guy like Bediako who so often you'll see him with his hands straight up in the air, always looking to try and get those rebounds like that, you're not really going to get a chance to box somebody out. And that's why a guy like Munecat can use that athleticism to get over top. And he did that, especially because when you get a running start, it doesn't matter how tall the other person is. At this level, guys that are 6'4" and up, they're dunking, so they're able to get up there with you. You have to give them a little bump.
Smaller than that are dunking. We got Shamar Rattan-Mays on Orangeville dunking.
Of course, I understand that, but what the point I'm trying to make is just when you've got a forward that's playing at that size, and there's a.
There we go.
They're going to count. Nope, it's going to be two.
I don't think they're going to. I don't know if they're going to count that one. No, there's going to be two shots. So it was before the bucket. Maybe we'll get a look at it here. But the score now is 23-22. Watch this. So the foul's right there. And then he took that extra dribble, and that's why they're not going to count it, because he hadn't gathered for that layup yet. So he'll have 2 shots at the line.
So shouldn't it be on the floor then?
Yeah.
Because it's not a shot.
It should be. No, are they in bonus? Yeah, they're in bonus now. Yeah, Rise is in bonus.
I knew that.
Here we are trying to figure out what's happening on the floor. Rise is in bonus. So every foul now for the next 3 minutes and 37 seconds, the Wolfpack will be shooting from the charity stripe. Ramir Moore subbed back into the game, taking out Dragan Stajic. It'll be Tigers ball on the baseline. It's like we blinked, Ryan, and the Wolfpack have the lead. We said that the Tigers were really handling this game, controlling every aspect of it, and then a quick run at the beginning of the second quarter put the Wolfpack ahead.
Well, it's a 15-1 run at this point, so it's been impressive to say the least. But we knew we were going to have that kind of game.
Yep. That's going to be another foul on Rise on number 4, Vladimir Lukomsky. Just on the floor, though. So it's going to be Ridley ball on the sideline. Another substitution in for Rise Prep. Number 4, Vladimir Lukomsky, is subbed out for Dawson John. Here's Upshaw. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Comes off the screen from Charles Bediako. Upshaw looks to turn the corner, kicks it out to Wharton. Wharton redrives. That extra dribble goes up and just can't do it. A huge rebound by Chilton.
Well, that's one of those passes you have to make a second sooner to get the open look.
Akende got away with a little bit of a travel on that one, Ryan, but it's good off the glass for 2 points. You can see all the players on Ridley on their bench doing that travel dance.
Impressive finish by Akende. That's what he does best, though. He's good at attacking.
Yep.
And this is the time to do it with Jaden Bediako and Anthony Dwadu and the rest of that long front court on the bench right now. That starting front court, at least.
You can see here even John Akende not playing the 1 right now, playing the 2, but even has the confidence, I'll say, to tell Ramir Moore to slow the ball down, even though Ramir Moore is playing that 1. There's a big 3 bucket by Kenyon for Rise as they extend the lead to 6, 29-23, approaching the 2-minute mark.
People don't understand how difficult of a shot that is. Charles Bediako was right at him, hand in the face, and almost high-fived him on the shot. But Kenyon, ice in his veins, knocks it down. There's
a foul on Kenyon as well, going battling in the paint against Bediako. That's his 3rd foul right now, Ryan, in the second quarter, so he's probably going to take a seat for the next 2 minutes. 2 substitutions in for Ridley, Dadu, and Jaden Bediako back in the game.
Well, we're going to need to see something here in these final 2 minutes offensively. Here's a super stat of the day, Kelsey. In the last 5 minutes of this second quarter, Ridley's been outscored 20-1.
Oy. Malcolm Bailey puts in 2 points. Finally, they've got more than 1 point in the last 5 minutes. Ryan, give them 3 now. They're down by 4.
That's their first field goal in 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
After scoring 22.
Is that good defense by Rise, or is it sloppy offense right now by Ridley?
I actually think it's good defense and not making your free throws.
Dadu wide open at the three-point line. That one's good. Now the Tigers on a roll.
Starting to find that rhythm, and they're going to need it. You can't. There was no way they were going to be held off the score sheet for that long and not have a response at some point. We're starting to see that now that the starting lineup, with the exception of Charles Bediako, is back on the floor for Ridley.
John Akende up top. Akende steps back. Knocked out of bounds by Dadu. Last touch by Ramir Moore. 1 minute, 7 seconds left to go in the game, Ryan. It is getting exciting in this gym. Watch as you can see maybe that last touch. He skips it over. Knocked first, yep, first there by Ridley, second by Ramir Moore. Ridley knew it, all pointing down towards their possession. It's going to be their ball with 1 minute and 7 to go. And
you can see with the starting lineup now back on the floor for Ridley College, completely different mentality on defense. Guys are taking chances. You could see the length having an effect on the passing lanes for Rise Prep. And as a result, they're not getting the same clean looks that they were getting just a few minutes earlier. And if you're Ridley, you're going to finish off with these starters. They've had enough time to really sit down and get a rest. They're going to see if they can close out this half with a considerable lead, an opportunity here now to really kind of distance themselves after what was definitely not an ideal second half of that quarter.
29-28. It is the number 4 seed Rise Prep Wolfpack leading the they're the number 4 seed Wolfpack, leading the way over the number 5 seed Ridley College Tigers. There's 1 minute left in the half, Ryan, and it is so exciting. Ridley ball on the sideline.
You want to be more excited. We're trying to be more excited, but man, do we have a marathon ahead of us today of basketball.
I am excited. This is a great game so far.
Yep.
Both teams really getting into their rhythm so far. They haven't played the cleanest basketball that they've played all season. But they're starting to get in the groove, and you can tell with the runs that both teams have had.
It's been very entertaining, to say the least.
Both teams have had substantial leads.
Steal there by
There's
Moore.
A big steal by Ramir Moore. Gets it into John Akende. Akende blocked by Dadu. Now it's Wharton. Headmans it to Malcolm Bailey. Malcolm Bailey fouled. That foul goes to Victor Nosadas, and it's going to send Bailey to the line for 2.
Nosadas, excellent awareness, goes right for the ball, doesn't give Bailey a chance to gather and go up or even get the pass off to Bediako for the easy dunk. He just goes right for the hands, knocks it loose. Very heads-up very heads-up defense there by the young man, number 12 for Rise.
Bailey can't connect on the first. He's got one more at the charity stripe. Less than a minute to go. 46 seconds left to go in the first half. Ryan, it is a 1-point game. This foul shot could tie it up.
You got to make those free throws. You have to. We've seen it already in this tournament today.
Here's John Akende over to Moore.
The importance of those free throws. Nice.
Moore gets it over to Akende. Akende now at the 45, 8 seconds on the shot clock. He's calling for the screen. Comes off the screen on the left-hand side. The floater down the middle just doesn't go.
Just doesn't get the spin on the ball there that he would have wanted.
Here's Wharton, hands off. Great defense by Rise Prep. Moore picks it up, a nice behind the back. It's a 2-on-1. He hands it to Dawson John. It just doesn't go in. Dadu picks up the board. Neither team right now, Ryan, can buy a basket. At the end of the first half, it's Rise Prep leading the way 29-28. And Ryan, I said it earlier, both teams have had substantial leads in this game, and it's only halftime.
Yeah, and they've went on their runs, very evenly matched so far in athleticism and defensive effort. One of the more impressive defensive transitional efforts I think we've seen all year, actually. There's been a lot of chase down blocks. There's been some excellent hand action with guys just getting in there and deflecting any kind of pass that was going into the inside. You see the turnovers there as we're looking at some replays here. Once again, just taking advantage of the craziness of it all, finding open guys. And moving forward, it's just been a very, very impressive game. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in the second half. like to welcome everybody back. Just about to get started here. Second half action between Rise Prep and Ridley College going at it. A trip to the semifinals is on the line here in the second quarterfinal of the OSBA championship weekend here in the beautiful Guelph Gryphons campus out here at the University of Guelph. Of course, everyone keep in mind we also have the women's championship game tonight at 8 o'clock. So make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. Just an entire day of basketball. And of course, my name's Ryan Greco. I'm taking care of your color commentary today, while Kelsey Wright Johnson, who's going to be joining us in just a moment, is taking care of your play-by-play. And we'll just go over some stats very quickly before we begin this second half. Leading scores right now for Ridley College is Marcus Upshaw with 7 points. Also going 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Leading the scores right now for Rise Prep, who are enjoying a 1-point lead. That would be Thomas Chilton with 7 points, along with 7 rebounds. Very impressive stat line for him tonight. He's clearly been the MVP so far for this Rise Prep team, peaking at just the right time for his Wolfpack to give them an opportunity. And a fun stat, interesting stat, it was Rise Prep outscoring Ridley College 20-10 in that second quarter, and that's a big reason why they're holding on to this 1-point lead now going into the third. It could be anybody's game. We've seen both of these teams go on very impressive runs in that first half. It's only a matter of time that we're going to probably see 1 or 2 more, as Kelsey Wright Johnson is now joining me in the booth. Kelsey.
Oh, hey, Ryan. Didn't see you there.
Always ready to go. Look at that. Right as the inbound, Kelsey is here ready to go.
They were waiting for me. A big bucket by Jaden Bediako kicks off the scoring for Ridley College. Stajic now up top for Rise. Hands off to Moore. Moore pulls it out. Redrives, kicks it to Chilton. Chilton touches that outside line again. Ryan, if you're just tuning in now, we said that it's happened a few times in game one. It happened a few times, it happened a few times earlier this game. Just everyone getting used to this new gym. Yeah,
I mean, once again, we've used that phrase time and again as depth perception, and guys thinking they have a little bit more space than they actually do because the benches are so far away from what they're used to seeing on the floor, so they think they got a little bit more space in the out of bounds than they actually do.
There's a foul there on Brandon Kenyon as Jaden Bediako jumps onto his back. I'm wondering if we can see a replay here. Yeah, take a look at this. I don't know if you can see it. Jaden Bediako jumps right onto the back of Kenyon. And it's Kenyon's foul. It's a strange one.
Interesting.
Sometimes you can't box out too hard or it is a foul. I understand that. Jaden Bediako almost piggybacking him after that. Ramir Moore goes up. That one's no good. Big rebound by Rise and a block by Malcolm Bailey. Bailey called with the foul.
And there's some excellent take there by number 13 for Rise Prep. That was Sydney Okeke, 6'8", forward out of Mississauga, class of 2019. As Moore doing what he does best, and he's so good at getting to the rim there, but he's definitely had a challenge tonight, blocked multiple times by this Ridley College front court, which could be one of the most athletically gifted in the entire OSBA. I think few will argue with that. But once again, there's Okeke there. One of the downsides, though, of having a front court that's so block happy, especially when it's working well for them, is that there's really no one there to box out the second chance opportunity.
And a good pump fake will get you to the line.
Yes. And that's exactly what happened there.
Here's Marcus Upshaw for the Ridley Tigers. Calms it down as he looks over at his dad on the sideline and what play they're going to run.
Yep.
It's a tie game right now, 1 minute into the third. Dadu looking inside to feed Bediako. He gets it in. Jaden Bediako doubled, kicks it back out. Dadu, pump fake, down the middle, puts it up. It's no good. Almost knocked out of bounds, cleaned up by Dragic. Munecat goes up, no call. Kicks out to Thomas Chilton. He's been on fire so far. That one just short. Stajic brings it back out with a reset shot clock. 10 on the clock. A nice spin move down the middle. Goes up. It's blocked by Jaden Bediako, and Marcus Upshaw comes down with it. There's a foul there on Ramir Moore.
And that definitely looked like a frustration foul, as a number of guards for Rise Prep were getting hammered going to the basket on that last possession. If we take a quick look at the replays here, look at this. There's some heavy contact there. We saw some heavier contact earlier, and you can see Ramir Moore at this point just going to go in and prevent an easy bucket in transition.
Yeah, and I could see Coach asking if that was a clear path, Ryan, but because Ramir Moore fouled from the front and not from behind, even though that there was no defender in front, that's just going to be called a regular foul.
And it was a good foul, too. You don't want to get the team off after a defensive stop like that. You
Absolutely.
Don't want
It's all
them
about momentum as well, especially
Exactly.
in this game where there's been so many runs both ways. Out of bounds there on the Tigers. It's going to be Rise ball on the sideline. 8 minutes, 5 seconds left to go, and there's a substitution in for Rise. Number 4, Vladimir Lukomsky comes in for David Muncat.
You could see a lot of the guys on the floor right now. The energy is so high and so intense. Guys are making decisions they wouldn't normally make, like a cross-court pass there. You don't necessarily want to do that against a team as athletic as Rise on defense.
Lukomsky drives, left-hand side. It's good. What a bucket.
Very impressive. Great defense there. Not much more you could do about it. He was able to cut off the angle, forced him to switch hands in midair. That was just a great shot.
Here's Upshaw. Rise looking for that 5-second call. They get it in just in time. Upshaw drives right. 2 bodies around him. Isn't able to put it in, but it has to be swiped away. They're saying no contact by the blocks, so it's going to go Rise ball. Marcus Upshaw making kind of the same face I'm making right now, thinking, I don't know how the ball went in that direction, but they're going to call it Rise ball. We'll see a replay here. Or maybe it wasn't swiped. You could see the replay there. Thomas Shilton missed it completely. Here's Thomas Shilton now up top. Hands off to Lukomsky. Over to Moore. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Moore sees the lane in the open, goes up off the glass. What a finish as he falls to the ground.
I think both guards on opposing teams are understanding the refs are just letting them play. They've kind of swallowed the whistle in this game. So as a result, they're just going to have to go strong to the rim every time, just like Ramir Moore did right there.
Here's Jaden Bediako. Tries to go up and under. Great defense there by Stajic. Marcus Upshaw.
One thing there I want to see more from Bediako is trying to find the isolation. He dribbles as there's going to be a foul there.
There's going to be an intentional foul there on Noah Wharton. A couple shoves happening in between. I think he was tripped going to the basket. Thomas Shilton was tripped by Noah Wharton, but I don't think it was a malicious attempt. But now Thomas Shilton's teammates going after him, saying that you don't trip my player like that, and it is going to be called an intentional foul. Thomas Shilton will get he'll get 2 shots, and then there'll be one extra, and then they'll get the possession back as well.
It was kind of inevitable at some point. We're going to see a little bit of shoving. I mean, the referees have really let the boys play in a sense, and I had absolutely no problem with that. I mean, both of these teams are well coached. They've got.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, well, once again, like I said, like I was, kind of alluding to right now, is that, when you allow the guys to play a little bit physically, you're going to eventually have moments like that come up. And
yeah, so watch this. Watch Norton.
Yeah, it's one
of those.
Yeah,
it might have been a little bit of an intentional.
I think it was just. I think guys get tired because they've been running up and down so consistently. You got to remember as well, Upshaw and Wharton specifically, they've played a lot of minutes so far in this game. Yep. And there's only so many times you can really just kind of go after a guy when he's attacking the basket.
And man, Nikes are getting heavy these days. It's hard to move your feet quick.
That's one reason.
That's Noah Wharton's third
That's
foul.
One theory.
It's sending Thomas Shilton to the line for 2 shots.
And Shilton gets to go to the line as a result. A close game here. Rise Prep, after falling down 22-9 since then, they've been the aggressors. They have definitely been the better team in this one. And really at this point, despite the missed free throw there by Chilton.
It just took them a couple minutes to warm up. Chilton at the line now.
Definitely by the looks of it.
Yeah, he's got one more. And Ryan, I think they're still warming up. I still think there's some fire inside them to move it to an even bigger lead. But I do think, this is going to sound so counterproductive, I do think Ridley has it in them too to heat up as well.
They do, but I just, the one thing I'm kind of taking away from watching Ridley, like, you got to remember, they've only scored 8 points now in about 10 minutes of official game clock. And that usually tells you that they're not necessarily sure in what they want to do on offense. And we've just been seeing that consistently over and over again. Guys missing open looks or just kind of waiting, like you said at the beginning of the game, waiting till like the very last second to get a shot up.
Yeah,
You know, that's a tough existence.
Jaden Bediako and Marcus Upshaw have to take over.
Well, Jaden Bediako has to make sure that he can find the isolation. You see him a couple of times dribbling into.
Here's
and
Upshaw.
There's a foul.
Can't get it to go, but he does get the foul. It'll send Upshaw to the line for 2 shots. If he makes both, Ryan, it could be a 1. Well, I guess if he makes 1 as well. But if he makes 2, it'll be a 1-possession game. Watch this again. Goes up on the right. A clear foul right on the arm. And he'll go to the charity stripe now for a reward.
See if he gets an opportunity here. Cut into the lead a little bit. As just taking a quick look as well, if you haven't noticed, Charles Bediako came on for his older brother, as Jaden's now on the sidelines getting looked at by the trainer. I believe he has an ice pack on his face. Maybe got hit in an awkward position in an awkward spot.
Yeah, yikes.
The referee is, or excuse me, the trainer is just taking a look at him right now to see if he's going to be okay to get back in.
Yeah, the trainer took his glasses off, and it looks like they might be dabbing a little bit of blood if he was cut just under the eye. Jaden Bediako is a tough cookie, though. He'll be back.
Oh yeah, he gets mauled down there on a regular basis, so it's a thankless job that is playing those positions.
Yeah. Here's Ramir Moore for Rise. Finds the open lane on the right-hand side. He's fouled by number 15, Charles Bediako, and he'll go to the line for 2. Ramir Moore, one of those guys, Ryan, that is able to kind of take over a game when he gets hot.
Well, not just that, he's very good at recognizing what the weaknesses of his opponents he's going up. You know, he understands that Charles Bediako, that is, he's not going to have the same footwork as his older brother, so he's able to kind of just take it right at him.
Yeah.
And as a result, gets a trip to the line. As you can see, look at this, works off the screen, recognizes who's there, goes up, uses his strength and creates a separation, and all he needed to do was just show it by going up, and the referee rewards him for his efforts.
Johnny Kende comes on for Rise Prep. Stajic will take a quick seat on the bench. I'm sure we'll see him later in the quarter.
For sure.
6 minutes left to go in the third. It's a 4-point game. Here's Noah Wharton bringing it up for the Tigers. Malcolm Bailey off of his foot, I think. It's going to be an over and back call. Great defense there by Thomas Shilton, and it's going to be Tigers ball on the sideline.
You can see, you know, something we haven't discussed yet, Kelsey, is the fact that at this moment, there's only 4 players on the bench for Ridley College, and and when you play an up-tempo offense like Ridley has.
Yeah, 4 players, and one of them is on the trainer's table.
It can take its toll on you after a while. We might be starting to see that.
Johnny Kende turns the corner. I think he just loses control of it there, and it's going to go back to Ridley.
And there's that length again. I mean, this team is so long, and even the players that aren't. I mean, you even look at if you look at Noah Wharton and you look at Marcus Upshaw, they're not even necessarily tall guys, but their arms are so long.
Yeah. This
whole team just knows how to get into the passing lanes and cut down those angles. And here's Cameron Bett, another guy, the lefty, tries to go up.
Looked good, rebounded by Bediako. Can't get it to fall, but he does get the foul. He'll go to the line now for 2.
And there we go. And Bett rewarded for his aggressiveness. Bediako able to follow and chase down the board because they had to focus on Bett going to the basket. Bediako was right there. And the long, long arms of this Ridley College team still giving them an opportunity. And they may not be having the cleanest offensive sets in these last 2 quarters, Kelsey, but they are getting themselves to the foul line, and it's what's keeping them in this game.
Yep. Ryan, if I was just watching this game and I didn't see the score at the bottom of my screen here, I would think that Rise was up by quite a bit.
And I think a lot of that has to just kind of do with the way that they've been running their offense, but you know, you also have to remember a lot of missed opportunities for both teams in this one.
Ramir Moore, a strong take off the glass, no good. Malcolm Bailey with the rebound, and Ryan, as I say that, Jaden Bediako will sub into the game at the next stoppage of play. The lefty, Cam Bett, can't connect from the 3. Here's Johnny Kende, a nice pass up to Moore. Moore tries to thread the needle, it stays with him, back to Akende, he releases from 3. Looked good from here, big rebound by David Muncat, tries to go back up, it's no good.
And finally
Bailey, Bailey comes down with it.
They got away with another one by not protecting the paint.
Charles Bediako, a beautiful take, keeps the ball nice and safe, right kind of at his stomach area, puts it up, and it's good off the glass.
Shoulder to the defender, takes the contact, uses those long arms to finger roll it off the backboard. Excellent move.
And just like that, right? It's a tie game, 36-36, just under 5 minutes left to go. Here's Moore up top. There's going to be a foul there on Bett as Moore falls to the ground. 2 shots, Ryan, as we are in bonus.
And there's Cameron Bett doing all he could, and Ramir Moore, he's just too dangerous to allow to get that extra step on you.
Yeah.
You have to, you know, even if it means a foul occasionally, as we see the replay here, you see Bett just not giving an inch on this, saying, no, I got to make sure I'm staying out there, because he can still knock down an open shot when he needs to. And if you give him that first step, you're already going to be sending it to the line. But here we are anyway, regardless, because of the bonus. Makes good.
Ramir Moore, he shot 0 foul shots, Ryan, in that first quarter. So he's 1 for 1 right now, 1 for 2, shooting 50%. Thomas Chilton gets the offensive board and chucks one in from mid-range.
Chilton, he's just 2 rebounds and a bucket away from a double-double.
An impressive night he's had so far here against Ridley College.
And that's something we've been seeing a lot. A lot of guys that we don't usually see in the game of the week that are stepping up today. Even in the last game.
You're right.
We're seeing guys having almost most important nights of their young careers getting it done.
Johnny Kende, a nice spin move.
Ooh.
Beautiful fake and the finger roll for 2.
He really is the Lance Stevenson of the OSBA.
Man, when Johnny Kende scores, he puts on a show.
He does.
He puts on a show.
He loves getting his teammates hype. He loves getting the crowd hype.
Everyone needs someone on the team like that.
Yep.
Someone who's just going to get everyone energetic and excited. There's Marcus Upshaw.
Tough
Good.
shot.
Bediako gets the board. Charles
Nice.
Bediako puts it back in for 2 points off the glass. They take the 41-38 lead.
And that is a tough matchup for any front court. The Bediako brothers at the same time. Look at that, another rebound for Charles.
Another rebound, it's off of his shoe though. David Muncat picks it up. They got a new 24. There's a foul there on Noah Wharton. Ryan, he's not happy with that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. If you're going to call a foul, you just call him on the bump initially, but not when he's already reaching in and it was a clean. I honestly feel like that was a clean swipe, but let's take a look again. Maybe he got a hand here as there's a transition. Johnny Kende.
No, we're going to see Johnny Kende's big finger roll.
Look at that.
I like that. I like the scream after.
Yep.
A lot of people don't like. I like it. I like it. It's good. Unless there's crazy transition and you're leaving your man behind to do a little selly. But that, I felt like it was an appropriate, let's get hype, guys. Let's keep this lead. It's only 41-38. The energy's got to come from somewhere. Muncat sinks the first, extends the lead to 42-38. Let's see the foul here, why he's at the line.
Yeah, no, we'll give that to him. The referee had a much better angle than we did on that one, so he must have heard the slap.
You didn't hear it from all the way up here, Ryan?
Not with the headphones on.
Muncat can't sink the second. Jaden Bediako with the board.
The only thing I can hear is your voice and mine.
Lucky you. Cam Bett. Oh, a little bit too hard of a dribble. A steal by Thomas Chilton out to Muncat. Muncat goes up and under, and it's good. What a finish. Charles Bediako on the floor, Ryan. I think he took a hard fall there on his shoulder.
He's okay, though. He's right back up.
What a finish for David Muncat. I don't think we've said enough good things about him. And again, Ryan, he's one of those players that we don't see a ton of game in the week. He's been a solid player, but he is a star tonight. Watch this finish. Up, under, takes the contact. Wow.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Charles Bediako stripped by Thomas Chilton. Chilton 1-on-4 goes up, can't get it to fall, but he's going to go to the charity stripe for 2. Charles Bediako not happy with that call.
Bediako's frustrated, but he's going to need to learn to do. Maybe take a page out of Ryan Brooks's book. Get those feet set, get high, and take the charge. Not everything has to be a block shot for you, especially if they're going to start calling it on you. And now as a result, he's now going to have to go and sit down for a few minutes. And I think that's something that he's going to have to take an honest look at himself in the game tape after this game and say, okay, what are some of the things I can work on moving forward and taking those charge calls, because the referees will give it to you. It's clear, we've seen it so far in this tournament. As the timeout is now called, and Ridley College, now this is the biggest deficit of the game. I mean, it's only two possessions, but they're going to have to start bringing something together as far as the offensive set goes, because the majority of their points in this second half have came from the foul line. They have just not been able to get anything going offensively. I don't believe they've even recorded a three-point attempt, and if they have, maybe 1 or 2. I'd have to see the stats at the end of this quarter for that, but it really just doesn't seem like it just seems at this point that they're very content with attacking the basket, trying to get the other team into foul trouble and going to the line. But you know what's going to happen when those shots stop falling, and they're going to have to start finding more consistent open looks moving forward. And on the defensive end, they can't go searching for blocks every single time someone goes up. They've been more or less getting away with it. It's been a physical game. They've done the necessary adaptations to what the referees have been allowing them to do, but it's not sustainable at this point, and the proof is in the scoreboard right now.
Right, I think we took for granted in that first game the great defensive IQ by Ryan Brooks. 4 charges he took in the game, which is absolutely incredible defense, and now we're just not seeing that in this game. Everyone trying to go up for blocks.
Well, and also when you take into consideration in that first quarter how few fouls were called on shots, it allows the players mentally to say, okay, well then if they're going to allow me to do this, there's more often.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, that has a factor on players.
Yeah. Munecat grabs the rebound, tries to hit it off a Ridley player. It's knocked out of bounds off of Thomas Chilton. Tigers ball on the baseline. Ryan, it's still 44-38, anyone's game. 4 minutes left to go in the third.
You said it as the diamond press is now on.
John Akende, I think he's going to get the turnover here. Oh, it's going to be out on John Akende. Great defense there by the point guard of Rise, but it is going to be Ridley ball on the sideline.
Yeah, that one was too close to call. We didn't have the angle to see that one even on the replay. But Rise still has to be satisfied with that. The pressure's on now.
Yeah, 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's Cambet. He finds Jaden Bediako. Jaden Bediako, Ryan, that's a matchup you like if you're Ridley. Gets the bucket to fall over John Akende. Real close to getting the tee there, though, Ryan. His teammates had to pull him away.
No, the emotion is shown, but Bediako, he's got it. You know what, though? He's a guy who he gets hacked so much when he's down there, and it's of no real fault of his own or even the defenders. It's just the nature of the way that he plays and the nature of the game that he's got to play.
Well, he's just such a big body. People are always reaching around him or reaching
absolutely.
up.
So, you know, you understand why he can, you know, sometimes you got to just let it out.
Yeah. Misses
the free throw, though. Can't afford those.
4-point game. Munecat picks up the board. Here's Akende up top. Hands off. Lukomsky.
Thomas Chilton and 1. And the lead's back up to 6, possibly 7 if he makes this free throw. And what a night he's had. Thomas Chilton, the 6'7" forward out of Barrie, and he's still got a year to go in the Ontario SBA. So really having a bit of a coming out party here in this playoff game, but short on the free throw. Starting to see a bit of a pattern here. The fatigue factor maybe setting in for these players. A lot of heavy minutes in rotation here in the playoffs. Usually, you know, you see coaches get down to those, you know, 3-4 man rotations. And that's just the result of it here.
Here's Noah Wharton now at the line for 2. It's a 6-point game, Ryan. How are they going to have to start chipping away?
Well, they're doing the right thing by consistently attacking. I just want to see if they're going to be able to get themselves open a little bit more and taking shots from behind the arc. But if it isn't broke, don't fix it at this point. And you can see the take here as there's a bit of a push off, and Munecat doesn't know what happened, what he needs to do defensively. You know, one thing coaches are always asking from the refs is just consistency. As long as we know what we can and can't do, doesn't really matter how often you call the fouls, but you know, it's a tough sell. And there's more, tries to go up again. And there's one thing I'm starting to notice a lot. You know, this has really kind of turned into a slugfest between these two teams, Kelsey. A lot of guys just opting to go right up to the basket as opposed to finding the open man on those rolls. We're just not seeing it. If you see it in these replays, you're always going to see an open man. And you see whoever's handling the ball is trying to go up against 2 jerseys at the same time. And, you know, it really kind of depends on how you want to play this game. If that's what you want to do and just grind it out and at the free throw line, then so be it. But occasionally you kind of want to see if you can mix up those plays and passes a little bit and get yourself an open look, a clean look, if you will. And we're not getting many clean looks in this game on either side.
Here's Upshot. Rejects the screen from Bediako. There's going to be a foul there on John Akende. Marcus Upshot, I can see him from here saying, finally, as he throws his hands up in the air, he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. Ridley now in bonus. There's a technical foul there on David Muencat, Ryan, and Jaden Bediako very happy with that call.
Bediako getting excited about that. It's one of these
Jaden
things.
Bediako egging him on a little bit there, showing the T signal until it was finally called. Muencat.
I think at this point both teams really need to kind of just take it easy on trying to work over the referees, though, because it doesn't really seem to be affecting how the referees are calling the game.
Yeah, they need the quarter break. They need the quarter break to sit down and just take a few breaths. Upshaw hits the first.
Where's Marcus Upshaw? He's been starting point guard all season for this Ridley College Tigers team. See what kind of effort he can put forward here in the final 2 minutes and also quarter to go in this game. And this is it. You know, there is no tomorrow for one of these teams, and you know, it's part of the reason why you're seeing such aggressive defense on every single possession. Both of these teams know that they can force turnovers, and hence why you're seeing such a physical matchup. A very entertaining game, though, I must say.
Absolutely. It's a 4-5 seed matchup, so it's going to be entertaining no matter what. Just a 4-point game now as we're approaching the final minute and a half of the third quarter. Could have been a huge dunk there. Malcolm Bailey puts it in for 2 points, and there's going to be a delay of game warning there on Ridley College.
It just seems like every single second a shot goes up, there's a whistle that's called. This one's been...
And there's a big whistle. There's a timeout called by Rise Wolfpack. Guys, right now it's 48 to 46, a 2-point game, 1 minute, 38 seconds left to go in the third quarter. We'll be back in a minute.
And we are back here. OSBA quarterfinal action as number 4 seed Rise taking on number 5 seed Ridley College. Of course, Rise out of Brantford, Ontario, Ridley out of St. Catharines. And a spot to the semifinals is on the line.
Yep, Ridley showing the 2-3 zone. We've seen almost every team go into a zone that's played so far today, Ryan. This is game 2 of the first day of the playoffs. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Chilton had to go up with it. That's going to be a shot clock violation as Ridley goes back the other way. Marcus Upshaw kicks it out to Wharton. A wide open shot. Oh, just short as Thomas Chilton comes down with the board.
Every shot's been short from behind the arc so far for Ridley College.
Ryan, I'm like kind of cheering for any team to get a 3 because we just haven't seen any yet. Thomas Chilton takes another 3. That one's just off the mark. I just want to see a 3 today.
That would be fantastic, would it not?
Here's Marcus Upshaw.
We'll get dunks, though.
Oh, yeah.
With these two? With these two teams, you know you're going to get dunks.
Jaden Bediako, when he gets mad, too. We'll get a few dunks. That one doesn't fall. It's 1 against 3 there in the rebounding war. Rise comes down with it. Here's John Akende over to Moore. Moore, can he sink the 3? That one just off the mark. Jaden Bediako comes down with it. There's going to be a foul on the play.
And it looks like
Bediako is mad. He's playing mad, and it kind of works for him, to be honest. He's going to go to the foul line on the other side.
Bediako consistently, but that's his game. You know, when you play as physically as he does, you kind of have to take what you get with those contact moves. Really, one thing I'm really kind of hoping to see in the development of his game moving forward in the next year or two is, you know, you see how well he isolates on that post on the right-hand side. Next time, I kind of want to see him, you know, during the offseason work on maybe a little fade jumper, because if he gets that high release, who's going to block him?
A little Dirk Nowitzki.
Exactly. It's an unblockable shot for a guy of his size. But, you know, he's been really focusing so far in his high school career the importance of being strong and being physical and just bullying his way to the basket. But moving forward, maybe starting to see that. You know, it takes a toll, though, because now here he is on the bench because he's getting hit so many times because he's constantly trying to make that move. And eventually the refs are going to miss some of those calls. So you want to kind of see him develop a little bit of that mid-range game there moving forward.
Agreed. Good point, Ryan. 15 seconds left in the quarter, 10 seconds on the shot clock, about a 3-second difference.
Nice shot there.
Thomas Chilton just short on that one. Moore comes down with it, 5 seconds to go. It's Akende up top, he's got to put something up. Finds himself in the open lane, the floater just off the back rim, and Ryan at the end of 3 quarters, it's a 1-point game. Rise 48, Ridley 47.
And this is exactly what we were expecting, a very close game up and down. Both teams, I guess you can almost say whoever's going to go on that next big run, they've each gone on a run each. So whoever might be able to go on that next big run can close it out and maybe end the season of the opponent. But we're going to definitely find out in that 4th quarter.
All right, guys, enjoy some highlights from the 3rd quarter. We'll be back in a minute and 30 to give you 4th quarter action.
Here we are, OSBA action quarterfinals. A trip to the semis on the line and a ticket home for the loser. OSBA championship weekend here at Guelph. There's a drive to the basket.
Moore on the left-hand side, no good to kick off the 1st quarter, Ryan. It's the same that we've seen this whole game. Lots of takes to the basket, couple fouls. I mean, no fouls have been called, of course, but there's tons of contact down there. The refs are really letting these two teams play, and it's a 1-point game, so it's really up to anyone. Taking a look at the fouls from the end of the 3rd quarter, Ryan. Rise has committed 20 fouls, Ridley 17. Charles Bediako, he's got 4 fouls himself. Noah Wharton, he's got 3, as well as Cameron Bett, who has 3. 4 fouls for Brandon Kenyon, and 3 for a whole lot of the guys on Rise. It's been a very chippy game so far this game.
There's another jump ball. We'll see if any kind of flow is going to get going in this game, or if we're going to get stops every 5 seconds.
Leading the way in scoring for Ridley, you see him here. Marcus Upshaw just passed it back to Cam Bett. He's leading the way with 12 points. Jaden Bediako has 10. And for Rise Prep, they're led by Thomas Chilton with 11 points. There's another foul there on John Akende. Akende, now has 4 fouls, Ryan, as Brandon Kenyon makes his way into the game. And Noah Wharton takes it out of bounds on the baseline for the Tigers. They wanted to sub out. There we go. There's a 3-ball, Ryan. I've been cheering for it from either team all game.
Now, coach looking for a timeout on that one. Said he wanted his guy in for a substitution.
Yeah, he wanted Akende out.
Didn't get it.
What actually happened was Akende heard the substitution, went over to his bench, and the ball was
As
inbounded.
a result, open look.
And then Marcus Upshaw got that open 3 ball to take the lead, 50-48. Ryan, you and I were talking about 3-pointers. How many have been made this game? 4. 4 3 balls have been made, 2 from each team. It's crazy. Everything has been in the paint or from the foul line.
And a lot of those three-point attempts have been short, so it goes to tell you, I mean, just how gassed both of these teams are. And when you play as physical as both of them have through 3 quarters, it's really not that shocking that the 3-point looks haven't been falling. It's been just such a physical encounter with both teams. But as a result here, all it took was 1 open look. And Ridley College now has the lead once again as we wait for this timeout to end so we can get right back to OSBA playoff action. And
what
there's
an
the horn.
exciting day it is today, Ryan.
Absolutely. It's a long day, too.
4 games
4
of
games.
Great action of the best 8 teams in the league taking on each other for their, we'll say, journey for the title.
Very, very well said. Very well said. Here we go. And bringing it up now for
Stajic.
Rise.
Yeah, Stajic
Yep,
over to
Stajic.
Moore. Moore to Lukomsky. Lukomsky up top. Back to Stajic. Ridley showing a 3-2 zone. Back up to Stajic. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Great defense there by Bet. Kicked out to Lukomsky. Puts it up for the 3. That one no good. A big rebound by Kenyon. Puts it back up. That one no good. Just everyone having a really hard time buying baskets down low today, Ryan. The foul line is the only place that people have been consistent.
And a great closeout there on defense by Upshaw. The last moment just there preventing that clean look.
Yeah.
And it showed. It affected the shot for sure on Lukomsky.
There's going to be an offensive foul there on Charles Bediako for the illegal
That's
screen.
his 5th.
That's his, yeah.
That's his 5th foul.
Ryan, just like that, Charles Bediako is out of the game. Still 8 minutes
that's
and
a tough loss.
Yeah, 8 minutes 35 seconds left to go in the game. That's a tough one to swallow.
And a team that only has now 3 players on the bench, you can't really afford that loss. Bediako got the hands out, clutched and grabbed a little bit. You can't do that. You've got to set your hands. These are the little mental mistakes you can't afford to make in playoff basketball.
Thomas Shilton out to Stajic. Over to Moore.
Oh,
Moore releases from 3. It looked good from here. No good. A big rebound by Malcolm Bailey.
That's a rare miss in rhythm. I mean, that was a Moore shaking his head because he knows that's about as clean of a look as he's going to get in this 4th quarter.
Yeah. Here's Upshaw. He drives. A nice pass into Bediako, just not ready to receive. Here's Noah Wharton. Kicks it out to Bet. Bet from the corner. That one's no good. Bediako gets a hand on it, cleaned up by Thomas Shilton. But Cameron Bet gets the steal. Bet over to Wharton. Wharton releases from 3. That one is banked open. It's good for 3.
I'm sure he called it.
I heard it. I heard it.
I'm sure he did. He'll swear by it.
Here's Kenyon from the corner. That one's no good. A lot of butterfingers today. Malcolm Bailey running. He goes up off the glass. That one no good. A big rebound by Lukomsky.
You can see the contact there, but the importance of working on your left hand, kids.
Lukomsky goes up. Sorry, Ryan. Blocked.
Go ahead.
So much is happening. Jaden Bediako gets 2 blocks there and the rebound. Hands off to Wharton.
If you're Upshaw, you got to come back and let him know you're another option there. Bediako shouldn't be having to force to turn over.
Yep.
You got to come back. You're both point guards. Yep.
A nice pass there into Bailey. Bailey swings it to Bet. Bet releases, and it's another 3.
Cameron Bet, he's a gamer for that, and we're going to have another timeout for Rise Prep.
Ryan,
as Ridley,
8-point
lead now.
That's just what we were talking about. Both teams have the potential to go on big runs, and this is the biggest lead that Ridley has had since the 1st quarter, 56-48. Let's watch this last couple plays again. So he gets the steal, and then a lot of ball movement from here to be able to get open and get that first 3 of the night banked off. Another one later by Muncat in the corner.
Huge.
Look at this one.
Yep, and there's another one.
2 3 balls in a row for Ridley as they take the 56-48 lead over Rise Prep.
And that's one thing, though, you're going to see in this 4th quarter. I mean, both teams, after that very sluggish 3rd quarter, everyone kind of trading blows back and forth in the paint. It was only a matter of time before both teams were saying, okay, you know what? It's time to kind of get outside and get in rhythm, move the ball around the perimeter. I'm sure the coaching staff was adamant to them about that and saying, hey, we need to start getting our open looks. That third quarter was ugly. It's over. Let's move on and start playing our game offensively. And to the credit of Ridley College, both teams, mind you, have been getting those open looks, but it's been Ridley College that's been knocking them down. As we get back to action here now.
Just under 7 minutes left to go.
Tons of basketball.
Tons of basketball. Well, Ryan, if you watched the first game, anyone who did tune in, 10 seconds. There was like was it an 8-point swing?
It was a
7-point swing?
6-point swing.
6-point swing.
But it wasn't even 10 seconds. It was more like 2 because they made the 3. Then they got a foul right after that.
Yep.
After
and then a
technical foul.
Yep.
It was insane. No, you're right. It was a 7-point swing.
7-point swing. Crazy. So Ridley back in that 3-2 zone. Rise trying to figure out what play to run. Akende comes off the screen, kicks it. A nice fake there by Stajic with the answer. A big triple for number 0 in the white jersey.
That was clutch. And now here's the double team.
Here's Upshot over to Bet.
Oh, don't trap yourself there.
Bet into Wharton, and Stajic is called with the foul. A good call for the referee.
And Stajic making the mistake there of really not deciding what he wanted to do. Did he want to try and defend the guard, or did he want to go for the steal? And he got caught in between right there, and as a result, easiest call the ref's going to make all night. Got to be able to know exactly what you want to do in that situation. Now, granted, it is a tough decision in the heat of the moment, but I'm sure he'll be looking back at that one and going, okay, I've learned something today.
Yeah. And that's what this league is all about. It's about learning and developing and becoming a better player for the future. And I think this league does a really good job at developing those players into who they should be by the time they go to college.
Absolutely.
So it's Ridley ball up top. 6.5 minutes left to go in the game. Noah Wharton drives middle. A nice hesitation. He goes up. Oh, they would have counted it, Ryan. He'll get 2 shots now at the line.
A tough one there, but a great finish. Creating the separation you see as he swings the ball over a power drive with the left hand, hesitates, comes right back after the defender has committed to the left side and tries to go up and under. But that's the importance of when you are very comfortable with finishing with both hands. We saw earlier Malcolm Bailey on that fast break try to switch over to his right and looking for a foul, but if he knows how to comfortably finish with his left, that's not even a problem he has to worry about. He can easily just go in, give him the shoulder and finish. And it's just one of these things that you really have to kind of work on, and you see it, the importance of it in games like this.
Here's Kenyon. Spots up from the volleyball, almost attack line. That one just short. Noah Wharton. Good decision to slow it down. He had that open 3, gave a little pump fake. A great decision, though, because they are in the lead by 7 points. Use the clock to your advantage. You use it as your 6th player, people like to say.
That's a tough pass there.
Yeah,
and you could see.
Tough cross-court pass.
Here's the thing, though. On that pass, as soon as Bediako sees that he's got a Kende on him, he needs to make that spin move inside and isolate him so he can finish. He can't wait until the double team comes over. He's got to take advantage of that. That one is on Jaden Bediako.
Good point. Here's Stajic now in the corner.
There was no one there baseline to help, just in the center.
Akende drives middle. Bediako blocks it. Akende able to get it back. No one can finish underneath, not even Ramir Moore. Malcolm Bailey gets the rebound. Marcus Upshot chucks it up from the 3. There's another one. Ryan, this is the only quarter where we've seen 3s.
That's
and
clutch.
They are raining 3s right now to take the biggest lead of the game so far, 61-51 with 5 minutes left to go. A 10-point lead. Kenyon tries to put it in. Bediako goes for the rebound. It's no good.
And there's going to be a foul. As that foul is going to be on Kenyon. A little bit of frustration there, but apologizes to the referee on his way out. And
I think Marcus
huge
Upshaw.
Shot there by Upshaw.
Marcus Upshaw is getting subbed out of the game. I think he looks like he might be injured a little bit.
Yeah,
Ryan.
well, he does have that. He's favoring that right knee that does have a brace on it and a complete sleeve. I
mean, he's not going to the trainer. He might have just needed a little bit of a a cool down, we'll say. Hopefully he gets back in the game soon for Ridley. 5 minutes, 8 seconds left to go. It's a 10-point game, Ryan. It doesn't get a lot more exciting than this. This is turning into a good game. This last quarter, these teams have really stepped up, not only from beyond the arc, but they're starting to finish down low too, and we didn't see a lot of that in the first 3 quarters.
I think, as, we use the word fatigue in this game. I think that's been the buzzword for this one. As time goes on and you're seeing the legs get a little bit heavier on defense, the offensive players are taking advantage of it and driving to the basket. They're getting cleaner looks. They're getting better looks in transition. And as a result of that, that's why we're seeing a bit of an offensive explosion here in this quarter. But more importantly than anything, this has really just came down to Ridley College getting the open looks, whereas, Rise, to their credit, they're not shooting themselves into a hole per se, but they are going to have to start making some of those clean looks outside. But they're not forcing the issue. They're not trying to jack up threes incessantly just to try and get themselves back into this game. They are trying to get a cohesive way of trying to get themselves to the line and things of that nature. Especially it worked on Charles Bediako, fouling him out. But at some point, though, they're going to have to start making these open looks, especially under the basket, because that's something they've been struggling at in the last 2 minutes.
Cambet finds the middle man. A great press break there, for Ridley. It eats a big chunk of the clock, though. 12 seconds now on the shot clock, but Ridley, they like playing with that clock countdown, Ryan. That one no good for Upshaw, and Stajic comes down with it.
Tough shot off the dribble there with his right hand.
Akende drives. This is what Akende does best. Takes it strong to the bucket. That one will not fall. He gets the foul from Jaden Bediako, and he'll go to the line for 2.
There's Akende, understanding that Bediako, he wants to try and go for that block. So when you throw in your arms or when you throw in your body into him, his hands are always going to come down.
Yep.
So it's an easy call for the referees. And that's something Bediako is going to have to kind of work on, his defensive awareness, either moving forward in this tournament. If they win, as you can see, look, he knows, see that. He's going straight up. He's always going to try and block. He doesn't necessarily always want to keep his hands high. He's not necessarily a patient player in the block on the defensive end. And as a result, Akende, recognizing that, goes to the line for 2 and makes good on one of them.
Here we go, Rise Prep showing the press once again. The press break. Almost to a T there. Great decisions by Ridley. Marcus Upshaw is going to bring it out and use the clock a bit. It's Wharton up top. 12 seconds on the shot clock. The Rise head coach telling his players to speed them up. Marcus Upshaw puts up the 3. Ryan, it falls, and he's going to go to the line for one more for a chance at a 4-point play. How beautiful was that finish by Marcus Upshaw?
Rise Prep, they've been gambling over and over with those corner threes, and Marcus Upshaw making them pay time after time.
They got his foot on the way down. Beautiful finish by Upshaw.
4-point play, and that could be the turning point here.
This now is the biggest lead that Ridley has had. Again, if you're watching, this will be an upset if Ridley continues to have this lead down the stretch. They're the number 5 seed taking on Rise Prep, the number 4 seed. Munecat blocked by Bediako.
What an effort Bediako's been having on the defensive block. But that's a big reason why he takes those chances, because he knows he can get those kind of looks and blocks.
Knocked out of bounds there by Thomas Shilton of Rise. Great defense to get in the way of it. A nice deflection there, but it is going to be Ridley ball on the sideline. 3 minutes and 59 seconds left to go in the game. Ryan, 65-52. Rise has to do something different to put points on the board.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be one of those situations now where, good ball movement and open looks is going to be so important, because in the post, Ridley College has done a great job in the last 2 possessions of locking it down.
Cambet steps out of bounds when he rounds that corner there. Turnover, Ridley. Rise ball on the sideline.
Now, honestly, if I'm Ridley at this point, all I want to do is try and eat up as much clock as possible. You're just under 4 minutes to go. Every possession, 24 seconds, especially when you have guys like Jaden Bediako in the post ready to get those rebounds. Malcolm Bailey, another one. They have the size advantage. Keep taking those shots. Yeah,
and they're showing a 2-3 zone right now. There's an offensive foul there. Cambet excited about that one, and that foul is going to go to number 1, Ramir Moore.
And he's excited because that's 10 more seconds off the clock, and nothing was happening for Rise Prep. And that can be so costly at this point in the game. You cannot afford to have any wasted seconds when you're down by double digits with only this much time.
Ridley Prep, excuse me, Ridley College is doing such a great job at their press break. And there we go with an exclamation point of a Malcolm Bailey slam on the other end to make it a 15-point lead. This would be a big 3-ball for Rise. It's just short as Wharton picks up the board. Ryan, how big was that?
There's Bet. That's it. Killing the clock. Excellent effort.
Good decision not to get that early shot off.
Oh, from way out.
Marcus Upshaw, that one's short, gets his own offensive rebound.
Yep.
Great decision to pull it out and use every second of this shot clock. They've got 9.
This team knows they don't need to rush anything.
Marcus Upshaw puts it up. That one, no good. Offensive rebound. Jaden Bediako. Ryan, this could be the TSN turning point here. 15 points, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Great defense here by Ridley.
Yep.
It's going to be a jump ball on the floor. Possession goes to Rise.
I've never seen in my life a more beneficial series of possessions for a team that didn't end up in scoring, if that makes sense. I think everyone understands what I meant by that. They ate up an entire minute of clock. They didn't score, but they have a double-digit lead. And with the exception of no basket, that's about as good as you could have asked for. Multiple offensive boards, continuing to control the pace. That's it right there. That could be the game. A very frustrating turn of events here for Rise Prep. Couple of made threes put Ridley out in front, and they just have not had anything going in this fourth quarter offensively. And an air ball, but a putback.
Yeah, he looks for the answer there. Can't grab it.
Okay,
but Sydney Okeke cleans it up down low. We're under 2.5 minutes now left to go. Cam Bet on the fast break pulls it back out. Over to Upshaw. Upshaw being guarded closely by Stajic. Stagic's going to be called with the foul there. Marcus Upshaw almost just teasing him with that one, Ryan. He knew the foul was going to be called, and they're in bonus, so he's going to go to the line now for 2.
You could see just not a smart decision by Stajic. I understand, yeah, there's only 2:18 to go in this game, but
Marcus Upshaw is almost too good to reach like that. He's too smart.
He's a very good free throw shooter as well. I mean, it's not.
Yeah. Upshaw went 8 for 9 in the first 3 quarters from the foul line.
Yeah, he's the last one. You have to understand the situation. You don't want him to have the ball in his hands in those moments.
Here's Stajic now.
And here we go, 2:16 to go, 15-point lead. And as there's another block shot by Bediako, but they're going to call a foul on that one. I don't really know where I saw it, but.
That's either going to be his 4th or his 5th.
No, that was a clean block.
That's his 4th personal foul, though, and he's going to send Vladimir Lukomsky to the line for 2.
Here. Up. Yeah, I mean.
We don't get a whole shot of the body here, unfortunately, because sometimes it's not all about the hands.
Yeah, he did get obviously he got the hand, like he got the forearm as it was going up, but I mean, I feel like he got enough of the ball at first. But regardless, referee rewards the effort.
Lukomsky sinks it, 69-56. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left to go. Rise, still with the press, looking to double. Ridley breaking it quite easily, though.
Yeah. I have to say that despite the fact that, you know, we've talked about this for a while about Ridley College playing to their potential, Cameron Bet. And that's, I'm sorry, but that's probably going to do it. 16-point lead, 1:52 to go. Time outs, I believe. No, they're going to keep playing. But Kelsey, I'm just going to say this. Just going to say this very quickly regarding Ridley College. I mean, first of all, Rise Prep, what a heck of a season they had from a team that a lot of people were not expecting this level of competitiveness from them, finishing in the top 4 in their very first year in the OSBA. Very impressive finish for them. But Ridley College, how many times in the last 2 years have we talked about this team and their ability to explode, their ability to be a threat in the postseason? And they're proving it right now with a statement win over the higher-ranked Rise Prep. And you're really just starting to see a lot of these guys that in their second and last years of high school basketball really starting to play to that potential that we've been seeing since 2016 even for some of these guys. Yep. And it's just been a real treat to watch them kind of come into their own. This is a big game for them. This is a big game for their program, a big game for the players individually. It's going to be great for the tapes. Yep. It's going to be good for the coaches in attendance right now watching them.
There's a lot of CIS coaches, or youth sport coaches, excuse me.
Youth sport, CIS, a few NCAA even, that are in the stands, and they're looking at this team now going, are they starting to slowly and finally find their potential? here in the OSBA? And I think the answer so far has been yes. They're going to be a dangerous matchup moving forward in these playoffs.
They could get the 8-second call here. There we go. Stajic with the steal, puts it up, and that's what Rise needed about 10 possessions ago, though, Ryan. They needed their press to start working, because right now Ridley is picking apart that press except for this very last play, and Rise got the bucket out of it. A 12-point game now, 1 minute, 26 seconds left to go. There's a timeout called by Ridley. We'll be back right after this. Isn't that weird?
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen.
1 minute, 26 seconds left to go to find the winner of this first round game. Ryan, the winner of this game will play the winner of the Orangeville Prep Thornley game, which is coming up at 6 o'clock. There's one more game in between that. Of course, at 4 o'clock, the TRC Wolfpack takes on the Kings Christian Cavaliers. It's Ridley ball on the sideline into Cambette, right back to Upshaw. Upshaw has had such a great game here. Really the shining star for Ridley in this matchup. Here's Cameron Bett, 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Using it up every second.
He turns the corner, a beautiful pass in there to Malcolm Bailey. And Malcolm Bailey, Ryan, is one of those guys who has springs in his calves. That boy can jump, and he's had 2 monster dunks here tonight at Guelph University.
What a throwdown by Bailey, adjusts in midair and just comes back. And here's John trying to respond. Can't get it, and Betts on the fast break again. Off the back, and throws it down. Cameron Bett to Malcolm Bailey. Thank you very much for coming.
Let's get the highlight on that one. Let's not even talk. Get the highlight on that. Off the backboard. A beautiful, beautiful pass. He kind of looks back to make sure no one else is there, and Malcolm Bailey is there to clean it up. Beautiful. Just beautiful. That's his first dunk there. 1 of 2, and then the next possession. Watch this one. Takes a look back right off the backboard and jam.
Boom. Throws it down. Beautiful basketball there. And Ridley College, can you feel it?
Here's Rise now.
They're trying to make some noise in the second round.
Less than a minute left to go, and that could be it right there, Ryan. Stajic is called with the foul. It'll send Jaden Bediako to the line on the other end for 2 to try and extend the lead. 50 seconds left to go, Ryan. I think Rise needed to score, and they needed to score big in that possession.
No, they did, and as a result, though, frustration fouls are now starting to take a toll, and I mean, this one's going to hurt. This is going to sting for Rise Prep. I mean, this is a team that really believed that they had an opportunity to make some serious noise in the playoffs.
I think everyone believed that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And to go out in the first round. But, I mean, if you're going to go out to anybody, I mean, Ridley College is not a bad team to go out to. These guys are the real deal. Just so much size and athleticism from start to finish. They protected their paint. They did that extremely well from start to finish. Never once did you see a John Akende and Ramir Moore, a tandem who's so comfortable with attacking the basket, really get into a groove and finish those layups that they needed to.
Yeah. Lukomsky puts in the 3. That one's no big. Jaden Bediako with the board, and that's going to be it. 40 seconds left to go. But it's going to be Ridley College who moves forward in this playoff round. So again, they will play the winner of the Orangeville Prep Thornley game happening at 6 o'clock.
And this score really doesn't do justice to how close this game was. I mean, it was that one run. We called it at the beginning of the 4th. Whoever went on the next big run was probably going to come away with the win. And a couple of made threes, it turns out to be.
Akende gets the steal. He's going to go coast to coast. That one's good for Mr. John Akende. 14 seconds left to go on the clock.
Crazy thought. That might be John Akende's final 2 points in his OSBA career.
In his high school career.
Yep, his high school career is finishing up this year. After last year with Father Henry Carr, this year coming to Rise Prep. Big reason why they finished with the 4th seed. And he's going to be moving on to bigger and better things.
Ryan, you want to give a shout out to some of the seniors on Rise Prep?
Absolutely. As Rise Prep, as the game ends here, we're going to give a big good luck and thank you to John Akende, Brandon John, Brandon Kenyon, who also had a very impressive game here for Rise, and just the best of luck to all three of those seniors who are going to be moving on to their collegiate careers after this game. A hard-fought victory for Ridley College, much deserved. Rise Prep, nothing to be ashamed of. The shots just didn't fall from outside the arc. Other than that, this was a tick-for-tack game the entire way, Kelsey.
There we go at the end of the game, guys. It's Ridley Prep over Rise Prep. To move on to the next game, of course, they play the winner of OP and Thornley. The next game up, make sure you tune in. It's TRC Wolfpack taking on Kings Christian. Enjoy some of these highlights of what would be a great game. For now, we'll see you in 15 minutes.